And somebody told me about portly.org, and that's where I met Pooja, and it was really nice to get in touch with her. So Pooja is a co-founder for portly.org, which is getting in touch with the craft sector throughout the. Can I request everyone to please mute their audios so that there's no disturbance, and also please keep your videos in the lock mode so that there's no disturbance. Sorry. And so Pooja is the co-founder of portly.org. Of course, she will tell you much more about herself and her sessions later. And Payal is a co-founder for Kadam Heart, based out of Calcutta, and she's working on a beautiful uh, process of working on the reverse migration, how to stop reverse migration. That is, and especially dealing with women and youth, and how craft and economics and livelihoods and how it can all come together. So that's and it's really interesting that both sisters are doing such nice, wonderful social entrepreneurship work. So welcome again to IICD, which is an institute which is focused to the craft sector and to the development of the craft sector. I would like to invite both of you to, and in fact, for the audience again, while we were discussing and talking, we just realized that both of them don't come from a design or, I mean, of course, Pooja has done her design from NIFT, but she's basically from economics background, and her sister, the elder sister Payal, is from physics background. So interestingly, my first question to both of you, Payal and Pooja, would be that from your physics and economics background, how did you take U-turn and come into social entrepreneurship? So may I begin with you, Payal?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, physics taught us a lot of things, made the brain more analytical. Philosophy or physics. So when you try, when you think beyond the universe and philosophize, and then you sort of, a lot of physicists are spiritual in nature as well. So from that, but I wanted to experiment more with life, find out more what is there apart from the education or the analytical way my brain had been wired after the studies. So हमने data management किया, which is computer programming, and we studied flowchart, what do you call it? Creating systemic, how systems and data management can affect your workflow. That was a very interesting, how to say, again for the brain. And then got into shoe design, which was more technical, which was more in the field. I worked because my mother was working in the Footwear Design Development Institute. So I got an opportunity. I was very intrigued with all these Italian designers and the German technicians who used to come, and how even 1/4 of a millimeter could make a difference in the product. So functionality of a product and, working in that sector. But I think still that thing to go beyond, I think the kind of beyond what the knowledge, where we can apply not to one, but to a holistic society, somehow is missing. And then came from the Export Promotion Council of Handicrafts, request that you're working in shoes and you've done in bags. Would you like to experiment in handicrafts, which is beyond, certain parameters? I loved it. Just loved it. And we started doing some projects for the government, and then realized that government projects also were, had boundaries, and wanted to come out of it, and then created our own, what we thought would be a good solution for the usefulness of the society. We came up with a model, and it's worked, and that's the reason probably I'm sitting here and on your invitation to discuss and talk.
That's really wonderful. That's really wonderful. I love the way you said physics and spirituality, and obviously because the soul, craft has soul.
Absolutely.
It's very soulful. So that's what really attracts people to craft.
Yes.
And Pooja, from economics to social enterprise and craft sector. What is your
Yeah.
journey been?
Thanks, Meenakshi. I would first like to thank ISCD. It's always, for me, coming back to ISCD is always like homecoming. Uh, Thanks to have me here on this platform, and I think also for bringing Payal and me together, though it was a coincidence. And I was just trying to remember, just before we logged on, I was trying to remember when was the last that I shared the stage with Payal, and memories went back to class two. I think I was in class 2 or 3, and Payal was in five. And I think those days we used to have the annual function of the school used to start with Saraswati Vandana.
Right.
And Payal was a very good dancer, and I used to tag along with her. And that was the only time that I shared stage with her. So it's really nice. I think after 40 odd years,
How nice.
here
Wow,
back.
we didn't know we were doing something like so nice,
No,
both of you.
definitely very touching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
very
very
special.
nice.
It's very special, yes.
Hmm. So yeah, talking about my journey, I think my now when I look back, I never realized so earlier as I was growing up. But I think when I look back, I think the foundation of what I'm doing now in terms of my work was, I think, laid just during my growing up days by my parents. Um, and and I never realized. Economics happened because I didn't know what to do, but I knew what I didn't want to do, so I landed up in economics. It wasn't really a thought through, decision after class 12th, but definitely it helped. But I think how I got into, I think now, I remember all the holidays that I remember, as a child, we used to, most of our holidays would be, to villages, or, our parents would always take us to, explore different cultures. My father being in the army, we got the chance to, I think, every year live in a new city, move, 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 meet new people, new schools, new places, new cultures. And I still remember whenever we would have to shift, I would never look back at what I was going to miss. But I was always curious, okay, what next? Which is this new city that we're going to, that we're going to? What would the people be like? So it was that diversity. I think we were introduced to the diverse culture right from our childhood, and we've grown up like that. And so in between, lots happened, like, economics happened, and then I think as I grew, I started getting a clarity. Like, वो कहते हैं पूरा you do a whole round, and then
Right.
after time, after economics, I explored a lot. But eventually, I think I came back to where I started, which was, the culture, connect with the diverse culture of our country. And
Wonderful.
yeah, and I think I pretty much now, when I see, I think I'm doing what I did as a child, I'm doing now, but with a purpose and a clarity. And I think because I associate going to villages and working with my holidays as a child, I think even now when I'm working in villages, when I go to the field, when I'm interacting with artisans, I always feel I'm holidaying under the garb of work. So it doesn't seem like work to me.
And
So
actually, when
yes,
you're working in the craft sector, you don't really feel you're working. That's
yeah,
another
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
yeah,
very true.
like, it has a soul, so you
Yeah.
connect there, connect with the soul. And yes, so that's what my journey has been. So though I did my economics, and then I did my masters in design, I graduated, and I did my masters also in design. And then I think in terms of work, what was my changing point was, I think, my job with the shop. I spent quite some time with them, and before that, I worked with High Design. But I think while I worked with the shop with Pami Singh, I think that's the time
It's a
I
beautiful
connected.
shop. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I connected back with working with hand. I connected back with craft. With all the block printers, and I knew that, going forward, what was the way to go forward. And yeah, so then the rest of it was a beautiful journey.
And it continues to be. So,
Absolutely,
coming
absolutely.
back to you, Payal, would you like to? I mean, it will be really nice to hear about Kadam Heart. this reverse migration now, especially during the COVID times, we have witnessed such terrible stories about what people have been going through because of the migration. And this it did start this whole. So, what has been your journey of, and especially in India, it has been really not such a nice thing to happen because people have left, and we thrived on our village industries. We thrived because of our rural sector, and now people have actually moving towards urbanization. And so, how have you been? I mean, how did you decide on working on this kind of a work? I think you're on mute, Payal. Payal, you're on mute.
Yeah. So, when we started with Kadam, which is the NGO. And Kadam means footsteps. Kadam is also the illusionary tree जिसके अंदर नीचे कृष्ण जी बैठ के अपनी फ्लूट बजाते थे. कदम पेड़ वो पेड़ है जिसका एक भी कंपोनेंट है जो वो जाया नहीं होता है, वेस्ट नहीं होता है. Right from the roots to the leaves to the flowers to the bark, everything is useful for different elements of the society. Not just human society. So हमने कदम शुरू किया जिसमें हमारा पर्पस था कि हम आर्टिसंस को एक तरह से मार्केट लिंकेज, कॉस्टिंग, जो डिफरेंट चीजें जो थोड़ी बहुत मिसिंग लगती हैं उसमें हम उनको we'll work with them around that, and then slowly we'll leave them and we'll exit and we'll move to another cluster to work. So sort of show them the kind of world that exists beyond that village where they live and how they could connect with the rest of the world to make a better world for themselves or earn a little bit more based on their aspirations. लेकिन वो काम नहीं करा. So we realized that market connect की बहुत ज़रूरत थी. So this is one component which we were trying to fit in, and it needed an end-to-end solution. So that's when 2 years post that, 2006, we started Kadam, which is a not-for-profit. And then post that, 2008, when we realized that ये नई trainings बेकार जा रही हैं, इतना पैसा लगा रहे हैं हम लोग और या जो भी government या जो भी, so हम इनको market connect देना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So that's when Kadam Heart was born. I would say Kadam Heart is my second child, So my daughter was born in 1999. And, with the birth of a child, you learn how to share everything that you have.
True,
so
true.
Kadam Heart was the second child, I would say. And my daughter says it was my first. I mean, it's my first child. Yeah, she thinks. So I think usme happiness, money, knowledge, हर एक चीज Kadam Heart का purpose था share करना. तो Kadam Heart came up as a social enterprise जो कि कदम ट्रेनिंग के बाद में जितने भी आर्टिसंस ट्रेन होते हैं, ड्यूरिंग द ट्रेनिंग वी क्रिएटेड अ करिकुलम वेयर इन द प्रोडक्टिविटी मैपिंग ऑफ ईच आर्टिसन वुड बी डन इंडिविजुअली. जो जितना टाइम दे पाता है और जो जितना काम वो एक महीने में कर पाएगा या एक महीने में या हर डे में कितने घंटे वो दे पाएगा. So everybody had different timings, but based on that, we would create a model. Then we would create aspirational कितनी आप कमाना चाहते हो 3 घंटा काम करके कितना कमाना चाहते हो. Then we'll do the skill assessment. After doing the skill assessment, then we do a market analysis in Kadam Heart, and then we marry all of it together to create and ensure कि वो उतने रुपए उसको और इतने जो quantity है उसकी बन जाए. So Kadam Heart मार्केट टीम का काम होता है. अगर क्लस्टर ए जो ट्रेन हुआ है उसने कहा कि मैं 500 पीस बनाऊंगा हर महीने, तो वो ही 500 पीस पे ट्रेनिंग कराई जाएगी उन पे जो कदम हार्ट टीम मार्केटिंग में जिन्होंने सजेस्ट किया कि ये प्रोडक्ट बनाओगे तो मार्केट अच्छा है या मार्केट शेयर उसका, they figure out the market share. And then that's how the design is such that there's a symbiotic relation between Kadam.
Absolutely, yeah, because otherwise you can keep making, then where do you sell? Unless you have a market, making will not make sense.
Kadam Heart's responsibility is to sell all of those. It doesn't end there. After selling all of it, we will make a profit, we will pay a tax to the government, and the profit will be profit goes back to the community again, apart from the aspirational income that they wanted. Apart from that, जो profit वापस जाता है कदम हार्ट की तरफ से उस community में, वो community decide करती है या जो teams हैं, जिस team ने 100 पीस बोले तो 100 पीस ही बनाए. So वो और without rejections. तो वो community decide करती है कि वो additional incentive money जो है profit का वो community development में कैसे लगेगा.
Really
And
nice, very good.
that way, there is a kind of a relationship which is beyond economics, beyond ecology. So the raw materials हम prices कैसे कम कर पाते हैं, इतने सारे units कैसे हर महीने बेच पाते हैं. That is all a study, and I think all that knowledge of physics and systems and
That's
everything.
what I was about to say. That it is, it is perhaps because of your different backgrounds, you could bring a new thought process in the
Absolutely.
sector.
Absolutely.
Because I think once you are there in the same field, the way you think, it becomes the same. So if somebody comes from outside with a completely new bent of mind, it can really work wonders. So, I've also had some experience of working with artisans, and it's really nice. It's heartening to work with them, but it's also a challenge. It's not very easy. So, what have been your challenges?
Most of the areas where we worked with semi-skilled or very least skilled people. So, if you were to say 1 to 10 skill level, 1 to 5 master artisans या good skill level वाले artisans होते हैं. So, उनको काम मिल ही जाता है. Designers उनके पास आते हैं, it's easier, and they all have mobiles and they all have access to market or designers, or they're all in the database of the government. But the others who are left out, उनके साथ काम करना आसान भी होता है और मुश्किल भी होता है. आसान इसलिए होता है क्योंकि स्पॉइल्ड नहीं होते हैं, बहुत जल्दी ग्रीडी नहीं होते हैं, और मुश्किल इसलिए होता है क्योंकि स्किल लेवल इतना लो है. सो हाउ टू बिल्ड अप द स्किल, एंड ऑल्सो द काइंड ऑफ सोसाइटल बैकग्राउंड दैट दे कम फ्रॉम, विच मोर पेट्रियार्कल. सो इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. आदमी बोलेंगे आओ जरा तुम वापस आओ ट्रेनिंग से, तुम्हारा गोश्त बना के खाएंगे आज. ऐसे भी होता है सिचुएशंस. ऐसी एक सिचुएशन में थी जब वो लोकल पॉलिटिशियन आके बोले कि आप यहाँ से चले जाएं गांव से, आप हमारी औरतों को खराब कर रहे हैं. ऐसे भी एक बार हुआ है कि आई हैव बीन किडनैप्ड बाय द नक्सल्स बिकॉज़ वंस इनिशियल एरिया ऑफ
Oh my God.
कि उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि उनको लगा कोई गवर्नमेंट का आदमी आया है, इन द ट्राइबल एरिया they were working. So all different kinds, but I think majority of the problems that come are a mindset of accepting women to come out from their homes and to be able to do something and stand on their feet, or let's say be away from their homes for a couple of hours every day on a regular basis. So that sometimes they used to feel threatened, but I think now things have really changed.
As the money flows into the family, everything is fine. So it's all about economics.
And also when we have created a model, wherein the जो ग्रुप है लेडीज का वो पंचायत के साथ बैठ के वो जो प्रॉफिट वापस आता है, वो लेडीज who were to the core, fulfilled whatever they said, they walked that talk in terms of quality and in terms of timely delivery. तो वो लेडीज डिसाइड करती हैं ब्लॉक डेवलपमेंट ऑफिसर के साथ बैठ के और पंचायत के सामने बैठ के कि ये पैसा गांव में कहाँ लगेगा. सो द काइंड ऑफ एम्पावर, हाउ एम्पावर्ड दे फील कि उनके पैसों से आज एक सोलर का लैंप लगा हुआ है, कि उनकी मेहनत थी जो आज लगा है वो गांव में. So then the village also looks up to them, and mostly most of these ladies will say बच्चों का कोई स्कूल का कुछ करा दीजिए, इस पैसे में लगा दीजिए, and I think it's economics and also empowers otherwise also in the village, socially also. Economics is the key word. Yes.
Yeah. So Pooja, coming to you, how did you decide that, Potli.org? Firstly, the name is really interesting. Payal has told us about the Kadam, and one could relate to the Kadam tree of, and one could relate to Sri Krishna and the Kadam. But this whole Potli.org is very interesting. And then you also have a little tagline. So will you tell us about this and how you got into making this social entrepreneur enterprise?
Yeah. Potli Potli was, it came out because it was because the products are all directed towards children, and it was meant to be like a Potli of a bag of wonders. So the whole idea was, to present the different arts and crafts of our country, to bring it down to their to deconstruct it and bring it down to their level of understanding, and then offer it to them in the form of fun activities and fun kits and fun things to do. So that's how it was a bag of wonders for children. and something that they're always in awe. Even now they are. And how did we? So let me just tell you exactly what we do in Portly. Uh, we basically we work with artisan communities across the country and artisans and the craft communities to create educational kits for children to facilitate a learning of Indian our cultural heritage through our different crafts, art forms, through architecture kits, um, uh, Indian culinary kits. So various forms of Indian cultural heritage that we feel that children can connect with. We create these kits with the artisans. Now, how our model is different is is that we work with the artisans and to create products. Uh, and so when we work with the artist communities, for example, we put their products in print and we create these art kits for children. Because simply because our aim is to reach out to every child. That every child, when we started, we wanted every child to every parent, actually not child, every parent to buy these kits instead of buying those made in China activity and craft kits. This was way back in about 10 to 12 years ago. So that's how we
Wonderful.
started.
Yeah.
So it was all the made in China buyers to made by crafts, by in terms of toys and craft kits, to made by the artisans. And that's why we had to be very conscious of the cost of the pricing, and that's the reason why we decided to put all the artworks that we worked on with artisans onto print. But to make it a sustainable model for the artisans, we have been paying royalty to the artisans
That's
since
so
day one.
good.
For every piece that sells, it's been more than 10 years, close to 12 years, and every artist who's connected with Portly gets their royalty every 6 months. So it supports them, and as long as Portly exists, they have a share in the profit. So it was a profit sharing model that we decided and also we give credit to every artisan. There's so many artwork that have been commissioned through Portly to artisans. And then, so we also act as a platform to connect artisans with the customers.
Yeah.
So that's how the model is different, and where the craft is concerned, craft, since it can't be obviously duplicated, so we ensure we work on a format where the craft kits that we make are within a certain sort of price point, which is very important for us, and but we ensure that within that price point the craft communities, the artisan communities the craft communities we work with, they get enough work to sustain them through the year. I think the first cluster that we started working with, which was the block makers, the block carvers in UP, we've been working with them for the last 10 years, and I think that businesses, their work has actually grown almost I think 12 times now. 12, yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Uh,
And that must be, I'm sure, your best-selling item even now.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. No doubt.
I still
Uh,
remember it. Yeah. So,
so,
Pooja, how
for
many crafts have you covered by now? How many artisans have you tapped?
so we have close to about, I think, 35 SKUs, which includes about 12 art forms, crafts, and then we've also now started working on, vernacular architecture. We are
Oh,
working on the rivers of India. So the whole idea primarily is, to bring the Indian cultural heritage and the natural heritage close to children.
that awareness is gradually missing from the younger generation, and I think it's such a
Yeah.
wonderful thing to start that.
Yes, yes, that was the main reason. A lot of parents would come to us. A lot of people would, we would talk to would complain कि आजकल के बच्चों को तो अपने culture के बारे में पता ही नहीं. This is about 10 years ago
Yeah,
when
yeah,
when there were no cartoons
yeah.
from the west or from the east. So there was a constant complaint, and we realized when the kids do not have access to the Indian art forms and the crafts or the culture, how will they even pick it up? How will they
Absolutely.
learn?
True.
That was the basis of starting Portly.
Mm.
And actually, if we also look at the Indian folk art and our traditional art forms, they are very, very naive. Children connect with it instantly. The colors that they use, the forms that they have, they're very childlike.
Very bright,
So
brilliant. Yeah.
kids just connect with it, and in the process of just coloring, in the process of coloring cards or coloring books, they understand, they get to know the stories of these art forms. Like, for example, Madhubani. Where did Madhubani, how did it, how did Madhubani sort of originate? Varli, the fact that these art forms are thousands of years old, what is it that these art forms have survived till now, and only now that we are having to preserve these art forms. For thousands of years, they have survived on their own.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
now,
Yeah. True.
because there's a sudden, there's a drop, and the fact that we are talking of preserving our cultural heritage just means that it is all, getting forgotten. So so that was again another reason. So it is livelihood and education. So it's a win-win situation where for the artisans as well as for the consumers, which are
For
the
the
children.
consumer and the general,
Yeah.
the general public. That's
Yeah,
really
and
very
and I, and I
interesting model.
also feel that I think to preserve our culture, I think it's very important to keep it alive, and important to for the children to understand where we are coming from. And there's so much of traditional wisdom that comes along with the culture, with our
Very true.
traditions and our cultural heritage. There's so much of traditional wisdom that comes along with it. So through these skits, we also try and bring in that traditional wisdom, those stories, the forgotten stories, to the children. So
Very
yeah, so
nice.
that is
Interesting.
that.
So, the Payal, coming back to you, you work with a lot of artisans and crafts and livelihood. So, how do you think this COVID has affected your people? This has really, it's really, there's a lot of upheaval which is happening.
Yes,
It's
yes,
like manthan ho raha hai, churning. So we're
totally.
really waiting for that, after all the wish comes out, we're really waiting for the Amrit to come out. So right
Very
now
true.
in this position, what has been your experience of COVID vis-a-vis your artisans?
मीनाक्षी जी, मैं अगर आपको बोलूंगी तो आप पता नहीं मानोगे कि नहीं मानोगे, but the retail
Increased.
sales have increased not one, not two, not five, 10 times. 10
मैं
times.
बिल्कुल मानने को तैयार. I can understand. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it started from December end, January onwards, जब China में शुरू हुआ. So all the buyers in India who were importing baskets from China, they started moving towards us. And because the
Oh,
system,
nice.
supply chain systems, everything was in place. उन सबको computer, education दे रखी है, उन सबको smartphones gift कर रखे हैं, उन सबके systems set हैं. So it wasn't. In any case, everybody works from home. आज की डेट में तो हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं work from home. तो ये सब तो घर से ही काम करते हैं. If the systems are in place from beforehand during trainings, so it didn't affect them. The only problem that we had was to take permissions to move goods from here and there. वो local level पे block development officer हो गए, district magistrate हो गए. Everybody knows आप उस area में आप अच्छा काम कर रहे हो. It's not that difficult to get a permission to move the goods. It was, yes. So but that was the effort that we had to do. लेकिन क्योंकि systems जगह में थे, मुझे लगता है कि हमारे मंथन में हमारे artisans पहले ही बाहर निकल के आ गए.
I know. In fact, I remember we were having a discussion with artisans कि ये सब हो रहा है, क्या करोगे? I don't know who, where, but the Gujarat artisans we were talking to, Ismail Bhai and these block printers and all. And I was really, I mean, I was not surprised, but it was so nice to hear. They were not scared at all. They said, नहीं हम तो करेंगे, हम कोई रास्ता निकलेगा, ऐसे निकलेगा, वैसे निकलेगा, because they have anyways come out of the earthquake also, and they're still doing really interesting and wonderful work. So I think you're very right. The artisans, that whole resilience is there in the craft sector.
फिर ऊपर
So
से आपने जो सोल की बात करी, So, you know, when you have that connection, that really helps, you know, when you believe in yourself and you're soulful yourself and you know that there are people, you know, beyond you as well, in terms of markets which are waiting to have these. तो बस फिर सब चल पड़ती है गाड़ी.
और आपका कोविड एक्सपीरियंस कैसा है पूजा anything which you thought because of COVID your artisans which you work with has that impacted them?
Not really. I think it was initially for a month and a half. I think till there was complete lockdown, and you know, and we were all trying to figure out, you know, find our feet in the new sort of the new norms. So it was for a month and a half, I think, initially, but I think post April. Till April, we had a bit of a problem.
I mean, initially, of course, everyone was taken aback, but then I think, yeah.
That I think everybody, you're right. Everybody was in such a shock. We were just trying to come to terms with what's happening. But post April, I think May onwards, just like Payal is saying, I think it's just been it's just been very, very extremely good again. I think our sales have gone up close to 10 times. And
wow, that's really good.
So I think also we've also been very quick to change to the new way, and I think with the flexibility and the back-end systems in place and the flexibility, so we managed to, you know, do pretty well. In fact, I think we've turned into a very good opportunity.
Absolutely, because actually craft has the possibility of customization and you know, working at small scale. So it's, you know, that whole resilience is much more than as compared to a large industry. Very true. So you both are associated with creative dignity, which is like a never before movement in the country. I mean, I keep telling all the students who've been working on this that, you know, Gandhiji started the Swadeshi movement, and it really became, and, you know, so this is like another movement like that. And what I can almost foresee that craft will emerge the winner out of all this.
Absolutely.
So,
it takes 10 out of the 17 sustainable development goals which the world is talking about, and they've been doing it, and that's another reason why
one day I was counting and I thought it took 12. So because it's actually kind of, you know, really overlapping everything. I mean, it's social, it's cultural, it's sustainable, it's livelihood, it's, you know, environmental, it's, you know.
In India's sitting on a you know, untapped gold mine of craft sector.
Absolutely. So with that, I come to the topic of our Varta today. You know, so I mean, it's actually just emerged out of our conversation that you think craft is the future, and what is the future of craft?
Absolutely, it is the future. There are no two ways about it. It's just that how do you, you know, one can't be rigid and follow the ways that worked at one point of time. One needs to be more evolved, but evolved doesn't mean in the form of a product design that you evolve it, but in the terms of the methodology of how do you converge craft, make it mainstream in terms of making it into a good business solution, making it, you know, more approachable.
So I think it has to come out of the bichara mode. कि वो बिचारे हैं, no, artisans है, अब इनका सामान ले लो. And I don't think they even need that. I mean, they don't even want it. I mean, that's what the creative dignity experience has been. That you know, they don't want relief. They wanted their stock to be sold, so they wanted help in that. So it's really.
And that's why the term dignity. That's why the term dignity.
Yes.
Because I don't think the craft sector anywhere close to bichara. And I completely agree with what.
But I also feel that we do need young entrepreneurs, you know, maybe from the design, maybe from to come up and do a hand holding with the craft communities, which is at equal stakeholding, you know, transparent and stakeholding. I think because not all artisans can be entrepreneurs, some can be, which is brilliant, but But I think there are so many students which are coming out from universities like yours who have studied craft and who have an awareness of, to be able to create business plans, to be able to churn out some, or, give the kind of information which the market needs, or the pricing that it needs to be tweaked into. So I think, yes, everybody, artisans को ऐसे students के साथ जो entrepreneurs बन सकते हैं, काम करना पड़ेगा to make, how to say, leverage the opportunity which has come to all of us in this sector.
I know we have like hundreds of students working in this creative dignity, and they're more and more coming in, and they want to, alongside. Yesterday I was talking to one of my students who has an ongoing class, and she said, I'm also doing volunteers, I'm also doing this for, and she's working with Karnataka, so sitting in a place somewhere else, and she's working with the Karnataka team. So this is what I think this COVID has brought in. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a huge opportunity also. So Pooja, tell us about little more about the creative dignity experience and how it will affect the future of craft. What is our vision for craft?
Yeah, so creative dignity, Meenakshi, creative dignity was it's basically a movement, pan-India movement within the craft sector, and I think once one second, people can't hear me properly. Am I audible now?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Okay. Yes.
So, creative dignity is a voluntary movement pan India where people from the craft sector have gotten together. So this was after the lockdown, where people came together to share, to support each other and the entire craft sector, to help the sector in whichever way, whatever needed to be done. And when we started, it started as a very, very small group with about 10, 12 of us. And not slowly, but before we knew, this group was huge, large, and we had people across, coming from the whole country, participating and helping out in different ways. So when we started, the immediate help that we realized that needed to be addressed to was relief, and that's a time we realized when when we started giving relief to artisans. We wanted to ensure that no artisan goes hungry, and that's when we realized that artisans didn't really want much of relief. They wanted the markets back. They didn't want to be the bichara, where they've been given food. Food and shelter they had, but money for food. But there were a few. There were a few very, very backward communities where we had to reach out to with relief. But very clearly, we realized that the next step, which had to be started immediately, was rehabilitation, in which we decided to we again worked with state hubs, which are a group of organizations or social entrepreneurs in different states who have taken responsibility of their own states to take care of the artisans and the craft sector there. So so that's when once we started working on rehabilitation, we realized one thing led to the other. We had done a diagnostic, and we got to a figure of about 2 lakh artisans that we connected with, and they had stocks worth 140 crores lying with them to be liquidated. So that was very clearly our mandate going forward for rehabilitation, to liquidate stocks. Then started the process of liquidating stocks, and we realized the first thing that was required to be done in the process was to build catalogs. The artisans were not used to selling products to customers without talking to them or without showing the product to them. So here, suddenly the norms of selling had changed, the market had changed altogether. And the bottleneck here, the biggest drawback in the craft sector was technology, and it still is. So that had to be addressed. To be able to sell online, the artisans needed good photographs of their products. they needed to communicate to the customers what they are selling. So then started the process of cataloging and photography, and to reach out to so many artisans to build their catalogs, to to enable the artisans to photograph their products in a way that they could be sold and they could be uploaded on online platforms was a very big challenge. But that's when IICD came. They were the first ones to stand up to to our call for volunteers, and I think IICD and SNIFT both. And before we knew, within a week, we had close to 150 students volunteering along with the faculty of IICD. So they've been rock solid, I think, in this whole program, in this whole process of reaching out to artisans and helping them in selling the stocks. So I think I really feel that IICD has lived up to the vision with which the institute was formed, and they still continue to be a very strong part of the cataloging process, and even the other now we've of course now we're going into other phases as well. We're getting into marketing, cataloging, and a whole lot of other verticals that have come up. A lot of collaborations. So going forward, I feel really like I mean, actually, you're talking of the future of craft. I think the future of craft is in collaborations. Collaborations, like Payal said, between entrepreneurs and artisans, and between entrepreneurs, between artisans, between institutes and artisans in the craft sector. So it's all about collaboration and sharing and bringing our strengths together and taking it forward. Craft sector is I believe it. I mean, it is a very inclusive sector, and I think also environmentally very friendly sector. So I would end at that.
No, when you spoke about photography today, I was just talking to one of the artisans who we have, whose catalog we have made, and we are also inviting him for our orientation plan program for the new batch. So I was just talking to him in the afternoon today, and he said, "आपके students ने मुझे बहुत तंग किया." He was very happy. बहुत तंग किया, मैं बहुत परेशान हो गया था कि बोलते ऐसी फोटो नहीं खींचो, ऐसी फोटो खींचो, ये करो. बट इतनी बढ़िया फोटो आई, फिर तो बहुत मजा आया, बहुत ही मजा आया. So I thought I must share this with everyone. This IICD community is here, creative dignity, some people are here. So this is the impact which we are making at the grassroots level. Somebody who thought, हम तो फोटो तो खींच ही लेते हैं. So I think the next process would also be to, because streamlining their production. The artisans are used to दो एक जैसे बना लिए, दो एक से बना लिए. They will not do. I mean, they don't know कि अच्छा market को फिर से ये चाहिए होगा, तो the market doesn't have it. So maybe I don't know. That is their USP also of the craft, and I don't know. We'll really need to work around that also. So as
I think one more thing that going forward that that I think it needs to be looked at apart from design and so many other things is also looking at the mechanization of the processes.
Yes.
Not bringing in
machines. So technology, like when you said collaboration, that's again one collaboration. Yeah,
absolutely. Craft and technology. I'll just give you a small example. When we were working, Payal and I, we were working in a village in Orissa. We were working with the stone carvers. उनकी मूर्तियाँ बिकनी कम हो गई थी, तो we were trying to introduce some other products like tableware. So so they started making bowls. तो वो bowls को chisel करके उसको पहले bowl बनाते थे, उसके ऊपर फिर carving करते थे. So that was a very time-taking process, and even time-taking would mean it would become very expensive and would not be fit to sell. So all that we did was we said, ठीक है, lathe machine लगा लेते हैं, तो आप लोग bowl lathe machine से बना लो. So उससे क्या हुआ, उनके lathe से इतने bowls जल्दी बनने लगे, उसके बाद वो bowls बन जाते थे, उसके ऊपर वो लोग carving अपनी कर लेते थे. So it was a very small sort of intervention, but I think that's where we need to see very intelligently. We need to sort of relook at some of the processes of the craft sector and very intelligently look at the processes as well.
So it's basically not just design, but design, marketing, and technology coming together, which is the way forward.
And the market also.
Market, yeah.
The
You know,
market
I'll add to that, मीनाक्षी जी, I'll add to that. हम लोग जब सबाई की बास्केट्स बनाते हैं तो शुरू में इतना समय लगता था, और सब लेडीज जो गांव में काम करती हैं, मतलब hundreds and thousands of them who work, सबके कॉन्स हुए होते हैं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि जब वो रस्सी बनाती हैं ऐसे करके बनाती हैं घास से. So with IIT Kharagpur, we went to them. There's a technology institute, and we requested the mechanical engineering department to come up with a machine which could make rassi without the need of bijli. So those machines were designed and they were made, and we bought and we distributed it to the villages. कि आज की डेट में ये और सिर्फ वो घुमाते हैं रस्सी का, वो बन जाती है रस्सी. And so then all that they need to do is make the basket. Price comes down, so productivity increases. उनके ऑर्डर ज्यादा होते हैं और प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी उनके साथ ज्यादा शेयर हो जाती है.
And quality भी I'm sure must be better. Yeah.
Quality भी. So these kind of interventions really help, you know.
Really, and they're required. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
because
this is
whatever the processes which are there, which were there long back. I mean, we need to innovate and keep, evolving. So definitely we need to incorporate technology. Very, very wonderful.
And Payal, you remember, I think was it a machine जिसमें मुड़ी भी बनती थी साथ-साथ में?
No, वो मूड़ी की दूसरी मशीन है that distributed, कदम distributed to the other members. So we have a mandate कि एक गांव में इनकम एक घर की 5,000 रुपए के करीब होनी चाहिए. So for that, अगर एक आदमी बना रहा है, बास्केटरी कर रहा है, so घर के कोई और मेंबर है वो मूड़ी बना सकते हैं. So मूड़ी की एक और मशीन थी जो IIT ने बनाई थी, which we distributed to the villages to increase their income. That's right. There was another one for Muri.
So, but these interventions are very important.
So Payal, both of you, would you like to show some of your work to our audience?
Surely, we'd love to. Swati, if you can share the presentation, we'll quickly run through that.
Sure, I'll just present it.
हम टेक्नोलॉजी की बड़ी बात कर रहे हैं, हमसे खुद से तो शेयर स्क्रीन होता नहीं है. We have to request youngsters. So we need youngsters like IICT students to come forward and to take on the baton from our hands. Let's go to the first one. The first slide. Yeah. If you see this first slide, ये जो बास्केट्स बनी हुई हैं, ये मूंज की बास्केट्स वहां गांव में बनाते थे, और वो मूंज की एक बास्केट को बनाने में छोटी सी वो 1 महीना लग जाता है. उनकी एस्पिरेशन थी कि हमें 3,000 रुपया हर महीने कमाना है. सो अगर 3,000 रुपये कमाना है 1 महीने में, और एक लेडी एक बास्केट, छोटी सी फ्रूट बास्केट बना रही है पूरे महीने में, तो नेचुरली मार्केट नहीं खरीदेगा ना उसको 3,000 रुपये की. तो उसी की एस्पिरेशन है, मटेरियल का कॉस्ट है, मार्केट का कॉस्ट है. तो हमने देखा कि मूंज जो है वो सीजनल है, पूरा टाइम आता नहीं है, पर वो उस गांव में जो नीचे घास लगती है मूंज के, वो बड़ी सस्ती और अवेलेबल वाइडली. सो उस घास को यूज किया, मूंज को हमने सीजनल कलेक्शंस बना दिए, लिमिटेड एडिशंस. और यहाँ पे आप देखोगे कि जो व्हाइट और ये जो ब्लू है, ये प्लास्टिक है जो कि कलेक्ट कराया. सो द यूथ ऑफ द विलेज, इनका काम था प्लास्टिक गांव से जो भी फर्टिलाइजर के बैग्स हैं या सीमेंट के बैग्स हैं, उनको खरीदो, वॉश करो और उनकी स्ट्रिप्स खोल दो और उसका रोल बना के, तो वो एक और छोटा सा लघु उद्योग बन गया. और वो जो लेडीज हैं वो ये खरीदेंगी एकदम सस्ते में, बिल्कुल रीजनेबल प्राइस में. तो ये जो उनका धागा है फॉर द कॉइलिंग मेथड, अब हमने इसको धागे को, क्योंकि प्लास्टिक था, थोड़ा दूर दूर में कराया. इफ यू सी दिस, तो घास दिख रहा है. सो इट्स रिसाइकल्ड, अपसाइकल्ड आई शुड से. प्लास्टिक आप हटा रहे हो, एंड देन वी मेड, बिकॉज प्लास्टिक यूज हो रहा है घर के प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए, टेबल के लिए नहीं यूज करके हमने लॉन्ड्री बनाया, क्योंकि बाथरूम में लॉन्ड्री अगर प्लास्टिक will go well and a lot of grass is visible, and the kind of shapes that we here that you see, these are all taken from their villages itself. हमने उनको बोला आप डिजाइन करें, ड्रॉ करें कि आप कैसे लग रहा है, whatever they created, उससे ये नए डिजाइन निकल के आए. एंड अब 8 दिन में एक बास्केट बनती है, 8 days में 1 basket बनती है, और much bigger in size because of the technique थोड़ा दूर दूर था, थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाता था। और दूसरी चीज है कि मूंज को भिगो, फिर उसको प्रोसेसिंग, इसकी कुछ प्रोसेसिंग का कॉस्ट नहीं था. So a lot of things, and I think that made the whole process much faster. And they figured out, अभी 8 दिन है, the last मुझे खबर मिली है कि वो अपनी प्रोडक्टिविटी और बढ़ा रहे हैं क्योंकि मार्केट की डिमांड और बढ़ गई है. So the last information I have is कि वो 6 दिन में बनाना चाहती है एक लेडी एक बास्केट. So this is one way of doing with locally available materials. इसकी जगह हम धागा भी लगा सकते थे, but धागा would have increased the cost, which means the product cost would have gone higher. और धागा वहाँ locally नहीं मिलता है, मोटा धागा, so उनको लखनऊ से मंगाना पड़ता. So logistic cost would have gone up. So this is a way of efficiently using whatever materials are available within that area and creating an interesting design which the market can connect to. So let's go to the
This
next.
is what Pooja says, intelligently using things.
Absolutely. This is a little bit about us, कि हम क्या करते हैं कदम में कदम हाट. I think I've spoken about it already. We could go to the next slide. Yeah. तो हमने डिजाइन को कैसे यूज किया? डिजाइन जो हमारा स्ट्रेंथ था. Design was a tool which we used for removing poverty in the villages. Poverty माने economic poverty. वैसी कोई poverty नहीं है. Economic poverty की बात करें. So how we started 2006, हमने एक गांव में काम किया. We started with the social mission. We saw पूरा change हो गया. 2011 तक हम 200 से 250 लोगों के पास, हम शुरू हुए थे 24 लोगों के साथ 2006 में. 2011 में 200 से 250 लोग पॉवर्टी से निकल चुके थे because they all had their equitable businesses which they were running. ये देख के 2016 में हम लोग वेस्ट बंगाल में 600 लोगों को भी क्रॉस कर चुके थे who had come out of poverty and they were working successfully. And कोई भी और बायर डिजाइनर जाता था वो बोलते हम नहीं काम करेंगे क्योंकि आप साल भर हमें ऑर्डर नहीं दोगे. ये हमारे पास ये ऐसा है सिस्टम. एंड इट हेल्प देम बिकॉज प्रॉफिट्स भी उनके पास वापस ही आते थे, उनको जो उनको चाहिए था मिनिमम. सो इट वाज अ विन विन फॉर देम एज वेल. सो 2016 में हमें फिर यूपी से रिक्वेस्ट आने लग गई. दे सेड कि आप यहाँ आइए, जो भी आपने बंगाल में किया है वो आप यूपी में आके करिए. सो बाय 2016 we moved to working in 4 districts slowly in UP, and by 2020 we are already working in 4 districts of UP, 2 districts of I'll show the next slide and we'll know. So we've covered about let's go. We've covered about 6.
How did you decide that which artisans to go to? Without your background, I mean, how did you get in touch with them? How did you decide that this is the cluster that I'll work with?
It's so fascinating because most of these ये लोग ना हमारे पास आते हैं शुरू में, बंगाल में और उड़ीसा में ये लोग हमारे पास आए. जब उनको लगा कि ये कुछ इस गांव में बड़ा फर्क पड़ रहा है तो साथ वाले लोग गांव के कहाँ कैसे दे वुड रीच आवर ऑफिस कि हमें करो, कोई फंडिंग नहीं, कुछ नहीं, ठीक है, लेट्स गो, लेट्स वर्क, हमें आपसे वायदा चाहिए, हम आपको वायदा करते हैं, हम आपको वायदा ये करते हैं कि हम आपको सालों साल काम ला के देंगे, आप वायदा करिए कि आप हमारे साथ कंधा से कंधा लगा के मेहनत करेंगे एंड वील कम आउट विद द सॉल्यूशन. जैसे उस गांव में हुआ है उतना हम कर लेंगे within 1 year. And that's how the changes sort of, it's like a ripple effect.
Great. And how difficult or easy was it to actually link it to the market? Because that's the biggest challenge that most designers face.
So because we start with the needs of the market.
The market backwards is
we start with the needs of the market. We figure out कि अगर हमें ये product बनाना है तो इस product को बेचने के लिए हमारे नॉन हैंडमेड प्रोडक्ट्स इस रेट में बिक रहे हैं, इससे अगर हम थोड़ी सी ज्यादा रेट में बना के बेचेंगे तो हैंडमेड आराम से बिक जाएगा, हमें मालूम है. और लेकिन इस प्रोडक्ट की डिमांड है या लकुना है या है ही नहीं. सो फिर देन वी वुड वर्क बैकवर्ड्स एंड मैरी दैट विद द क्राफ्ट दैट वी सॉ. यूपी में जब हमने काम शुरू किया तो हमें ये जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं, फंडिंग एजेंसीज, उन्होंने बुलाया. हमें कुछ आइडिया नहीं कि वहाँ पे क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता. CSR यूनिट्स ने कहा कि भाई यहाँ पे कोई क्राफ्ट ही नहीं है, हरदोई, बाकी सब बहुत क्राफ्ट रिच हैं तो आपकी जरूरत नहीं है, वो बाकी सब लोग देख रहे हैं. जहाँ पे कोई क्राफ्ट ही नहीं है बहुत ज्यादा ऐसा प्रोफेशनल, वहां पे कुछ करिए. सो दैट्स वेयर वी फिगर्ड आउट दिस मुंजका थिंग एंड couple of other things. So it depend करता है, but it was all coming from them. I'll quickly go to that also. जल्दी नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे चलें अगर स्वाति. ये हमारा मॉडल है जो आपने पहला सवाल था कि कदम हाट जो है वो मार्केट टीम डिसाइड करती है कि दैट फीड्स द मार्केट इन्फो, प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरीज के क्या क्या प्राइसेस में क्या क्या, बहुत सारा मार्केट स्टडी होता है पहले, एंड दैट इज फेड टू द कदम टीम व्हिच इज ऑन द, ये प्रोडक्ट को इस रेट में बनाना है, कैसे बनाओगे. Yeah, and then it goes back to Kadamhat to sell it. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, ये आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है. ये होता है शुरू में जब हम काम करते हैं. कई लोगों ने उनको डाई सिखाया हुआ है, कई लोगों ने नए टाइप के फॉर्म दिखाए हुए हैं, क्योंकि छोटे छोटे डिजाइन वर्कशॉप्स होते रहते हैं बहुत सारे ग्रुप्स में. तो ये कुछ इन्होंने सीखा हुआ है, लेकिन इस तरह का प्रोडक्ट बिक नहीं पाएगा चाहे इनको डाई सिखा दो, चाहे इनको नए फॉर्म्स सिखा दो. अच्छा, लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. फिर हमारी टीम आती है यहाँ पे, डिजाइनर्स एंड मार्केट टीम. कदमहाट कंप्राइजेस ऑफ दिस. ये टीम आती है, इनके साथ जुड़ जाती है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड दिखाएं. और इस तरह के प्रोडक्ट निकल के आते हैं. जब इस तरह के प्रोडक्ट बनेंगे, मार्केट को तो चाहिए, लेकिन आप देखेंगे कि इसमें कोई भी हमारे प्रोडक्ट में सिंगल क्राफ्ट नहीं है. वी ऑलवेज वर्क विद मल्टीपल क्राफ्ट्स. ये जो लेदर शांति निकेतन स्टिचिंग करते थे, उनके साथ में स्टिचिंग कराई है लेदर की. और ये जो बास्केटरी है, ये बास्केटरी वीवर से शेल बनवाए हैं. And you see the combination of it creates a USP of that Bengal district या जिस भी district में हम काम कर रहे हैं, which no other district does. So it has a USP which cannot be sort of so easily copied by any other.
Yeah.
सबको फिर यही चाहिए होता है, तो वो यहीं आते हैं और कहीं मतलब there is no competition in that category.
Again a very intelligent method of working.
Right. So let's go to the next slide. Thank you for the compliment. और हम करते कैसे हैं फील्ड में, जब हम जाते हैं, आपका पुराना सवाल, पहला सवाल, तो उसमें हम सारे लोगों को बोलते हैं, सारे जितने लोग इकट्ठे होते हैं, तो बोलते हैं कि आपको 1 घंटा देते हैं और आप 1 घंटे में अपनी पहचान बना के दिखाइए, कुछ भी दिखाइए. तो जब वो बना के दिखाते हैं तो उसमें समझ में आता है कि किसका स्किल किस चीज में अच्छा है. स्किल असेसमेंट वहीं हो जाती है और स्पीड भी पता चल जाती है. सो उसमें हम उनको डिवाइड करते हैं, वो जितने लोग आए थे ABC में. A is this semi-skilled but they are highly motivated people. B is the group which is skilled but they lack motivation. C होता है जिसमें ना मोटिवेशन भी कम है और स्किल भी कम है. लेकिन हमारा ग्रुप जो होता है
मैक्सिमम वैसे वाले हैं.
करेक्ट. लेकिन हम B पे बहुत फोकस करते हैं बिकॉज B हमारे क्राफ्ट लीडर्स बनेंगे. लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. अब यहाँ पे आपने मार्केट की बात करी, मार्केट का एनालिसिस हो गया, हमें पता है कि हम एक टीम्स खड़ी करेंगे, A + B + C, और वो मिलके A + B + C की एक टीम होगी जो ये बनाएगी, A + C की टीम मिलके ये बनाएगी. इस तरह की स्ट्रैटेजी प्लानिंग होती है कि कौन से प्रोडक्ट कौन सी टीम बनाएगी, ताकि अब फॉर एग्जाम्पल B वाले हाईली स्किल्ड हैं लेकिन मोटिवेटेड नहीं है. अब हमको पता है कि वो बहुत अच्छा एक टेक्निक बनाते हैं, अगर वो पूरा प्रोडक्ट बनाने बैठे तो वो मास्टर आर्टिसन बन गए और वो बहुत पैसा कमा लेंगे और बाकी जो है बेचारे बैठे रह जाएंगे. सो हम एक ही प्रोडक्ट बनाएंगे जिसमें छोटा एलिमेंट जो होगा वो B का होगा, हाईली स्किल्ड का होगा. सो वो कम टाइम देके उस प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू बढ़ा दे रहे हैं, जो कि अदरवाइज C लेवल और A लेवल वालों ने जो इकट्ठे मिलके करा था वो सेमी स्किल था. सो दैट बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वन लिटिल एलिमेंट it will highlight and the price can be managed, it can be better managed. तो इस तरह से हमारी ये strategy planning होती है on the field. Let's go to the next
strategy, and that is why it is successful.
Right, and then based on this then we start the trainings. तब उसके बाद ट्रेनिंग शुरू होते हैं कि ये टीम्स मिलके उस प्रोडक्ट को बनाती हैं, जब तक परफेक्ट नहीं कर लेती हैं in terms of quality, जब तक till they ace their ways of उनकी क्वालिटी में इतनी इशू नहीं आती है जितनी कि कोऑर्डिनेशन में आती है. कास्ट सिस्टम्स, कम्युनिटी बैकग्राउंड्स में फर्क आता है. आपने ABC को मिला दिया है, एक लेडी है और एक आदमी है, यू नो, जेंडर इनइक्वालिटी आ जाती है, ये कौन सी कम्युनिटी का है, ये मेरे कुएं का पानी क्यों पी रहा है, एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. सो उसको मिटाने में हमारी ट्रेनिंग ज्यादा उस पर फोकस होती है, बट वी कॉल इट अ स्किल ट्रेनिंग बिकॉज एज सून एज वी से दैट नोबडी वांट्स टू कम फॉर द ट्रेनिंग्स. या स्किल पे बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत नहीं करनी पड़ती, जस्ट अ लिटिल बिट. या challenges हैं, these are the kind of constant challenges which we work from. I think all of us are aware of it. Peak period होता है, monsoon में festival time भी होता है, उनकी खेती भी होती है, so they don't want to work. Quality inconsistency आ जाती है कई बार. जब हम पूरी teams मिलके बनाती हैं तो फिर quality हम उसको manage कर पाते हैं. फिर production deliveries delays हो जाती हैं, कभी political influences होते हैं. फिर जो है ट्रेडिशनल माइंडसेट होता है आर्टिसंस का कि भाई एक्सपोर्टर्स होते हैं वो बड़े ग्रीडी होते हैं, वो हमारा फायदा उठा रहे हैं. That is another, you know, another aspect which is very difficult sometimes to work with communities, which is not true always. So that's costing की पूरी transparent ढंग से उनके साथ में discussions होती हैं. To say कि export करने में ये खर्चा है, वो ये कर रहा है, ये करने में ये खर्चा है, वो ये कर रहा है। हर आदमी का एक एक स्किल है और हर आदमी अपने अपने स्किल को यूज करके इस प्रोजेक्ट को सक्सेसफुल बनाएगा इस तरह से. So we somehow this is how we manage the challenges. The next slide, we quickly just run through it. Yeah, and then we have how do we make it a logistic costs. एक गांव से कुछ बन के आ रहा है एलिमेंट, एक गांव से दूसरा एलिमेंट में कैसे हैंडल करते हैं. गवर्नमेंट शॉप्स बहुत आसानी से शुरू में तो एटलीस्ट एक्सेप्ट नहीं करती थी मल्टी क्राफ्ट. जब हमने शुरू किया, अभी आर्टिसन का नाम बताओ, यू नो, फिक्स्ड टेम्पलेट आइडियाज व्हिच पीपल हैड. आर्टिसन की फोटो दिखाओ. It and we said एक ने बनाया नहीं, पूरी कम्युनिटी ने मिलके बनाया है. So those kind of issues we had. But yeah, the next, these are beautiful examples which are selling. और हम ये बना के थक गए. ये एक रोटी बॉक्स है और एक ये ट्रे है. ये ट्रे की कहानी बताएं तो ट्रे और रोटी बॉक्स ये दोनों हमने जो प्लास्टिक के मिलते हैं उसको रिप्लेस किया. दैट्स ऑल. वी डिसाइडेड, वी फिगर्ड आउट कि कोई अफोर्डेबल में 600 रुपए में ये मिलती नहीं है हमें कोई बायोडिग्रेडेबल ट्रेस, और कलरफुल हो, ब्यूटीफुल हो, सिंपल मॉडर्न डिजाइन हो. तो ये जो मैट है, हैंड वोवन मैट है बैम्बू का, ये लेडीज ने वीव किया है और आदमियों ने ये बनाया. सो दैट्स हाउ द टीम्स, जैसे आदमियों ने वो बाहर की साइड की फ्रेम बनाई है बैम्बू का फ्लाई बना
So the lid is, the black lid is made of what?
It's made of wood.
Wood.
We make it two ways. We make out of wood also and we make out of bamboo ply also. So bamboo ply जो है वो क्लस्टर में आदमी बनाते हैं और उनको भी हमने मशीनरी दी है और उनको हमने सोलर जनरेटर लगा के दिया है क्योंकि उनकी मशीनरी में थोड़ी सी बिजली लगती है.
And this is a day-to-day product which is required, so
इसका डिमांड कम नहीं होता.
Demand is high.
Let's go to the next slide. अगर आप पूछे कि हम कौन सा क्राफ्ट बेचते हैं, हमें नहीं पता, हम बोल नहीं सकते हम कौन सा क्राफ्ट था. We sell handmade in India. रोटी बॉक्स बेचते हैं हम जो कि बायोडिग्रेडेबल है. This is just to show you an example, and then yes, the next few slides are just quickly if you could browse through it, Swati. Yeah, these are the kind of successes, how people have started earning monthly. This is the average incomes monthly, which we've taken out. हम monitor करते हैं. Next slides. Let's quickly run through all. Yeah, this is the same. How 1000 से 10,000 कमाने लगे. आप देखिए 2006 से 2015. Yeah. So this
I
is
think
exactly,
we have to replicate Kadam Heart all over the country now.
that's the whole idea when people reach out to us to say कि आप incubate करें same Kadam Heart in different states also, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So we would love it if IICT students can do it, you know, much multiply ज़्यादा करके. We are a limited team. We'll be happy to transfer our knowledge for the young generation to take it forward. Yeah, this is our theory of change. Exactly what I just mentioned. The next slide.
So heartwarming.
Already asked me here, we've already spoken about how the last financial year first quarter to this financial year first quarter, how B2C has risen by 10 times. B2B has definitely fallen by 1/3, but it's not so bad because B2C is taking over and B2C means more profitability to share with the artisans. So we are happy. Yeah. This is the kind of profitability plans that we do based on every cluster giving in the number of units that they commit to. And then our marketing team commits to. तो हमारी face to face meeting होती है, and this is how we come to these figures कि B2C में हम कितने बेचेंगे, B2C में कितने बेचेंगे, B2B में. And thank you. I think काफी मैंने समय ले लिया.
My God, no, not at all. This was like everything put together. You know what we teach in 4 years, we put together in one presentation. So it's about design, it's about technology, it's about market, the right price, you know, the culture, everything put together. So thank you so much. And ma'am, how do you get an idea to start this business? That's a question somebody is asking.
To identify the need. Just figure out, सुनते रहो, आप कान खड़े रखो हमेशा. नीड क्या है? और अभी आप सब सुन ही रहे हो कि नीड ये है कि क्राफ्ट को एक और जरूरत है लोगों को क्राफ्ट की. So need, we identified the need and we just converted that need.
And also whatever we've learned today is like, you know, local crafts, local materials, local skills, local people, local market. I think that's really worked because we are not going to export the roti box. We all use the roti box, so it's a local market. So there's a demand right here. You don't have to go anywhere else to sell it.
आपको हम बताएं एक्सपोर्ट के ऑर्डर आ रहे हैं लेकिन हमारे पास है नहीं,
Obviously, yeah.
बचा ही नहीं देने के लिए क्योंकि एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग कंज्यूम्ड. द डिमांड ऑफ द रिटेल सेक्टर इज ओनली सो हाई.
This is such a happy story of the craft. I'm so glad that we've
Yeah.
called you and we've interacted with you. So happy. So any other more questions you'd like to take? Yes, I would like to tell everyone that this session is being
There's
recorded.
one more question.
And we would be sharing the recording with everyone. How do you identify the need to begin with? Asha ma'am is asking.
The need घर से शुरू होती है. हमें अपने आप जरूरत थी और हम मिडिल क्लास लोग हैं. हमें चाहिए, हमारे दोस्तों को चाहिए. किस चीज की जरूरत है? अभी हम सब बोल रहे हैं कि हमें साइकिल चाहिए और क्योंकि सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल ये वो कोई पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट ये ऑल ऑफ दैट साइकिल चाहिए तो बैम्बू की साइकिल बनाएं, थोड़ा रिसर्च करें. So like that, whatever the need you feel, the need that you feel, उससे शुरू करें और फिर then you sort of carry on and do some research. And Google is amazing because it gives us so much of insights. Then you can get in touch with KPMG and so many other marketing agencies who do this kind of research. You have Technopack as well, who does the research especially for this. Now, Fab India goes to Technopack. Shopper Stop goes to Technopack. और उनकी कुछ सारी जो होती हैं केस स्टडीज वो पब्लिश भी होती हैं फ्री फॉर एवरीबॉडी टू सी. So once you figured out certain, zeroed on a couple of things, and फिर उनको आप थोड़ा Google search करें, and then I think you can sort of.
And I think the most important thing is to have a passion. Passion for something, yeah, and also we don't start something with the premise of trying to earn money only. So there is a social value in what we are doing, and of course, profit is very important. Otherwise, we will not be able to give it to the others also.
मुझे याद है पूजा, आपको याद होगा हमारे डैडी कहा करते थे, नाना जी हमारे, वो कहा करते थे कि अब नॉलेज के पीछे भागें, देखिए माया आपके पीछे पीछे भागती आएगी, कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी.
That is what our Bhagavad says. जहाँ वो है वहाँ लक्ष्मी जी आएंगे ही आएंगे. तो लक्ष्मी के पीछे मत भागो. जहाँ नारायण है वहाँ लक्ष्मी को आना ही पड़ेगा. So it's the same thing.
It's a thought of not, but I think my project is very different from where the way Pooja handles it, and I don't know. It'll be interesting to see Pooja your presentation if it's possible.
Yes. Yeah. We have time actually.
Yeah, we could stretch it.
We have the time to run through it. Yeah. Swati, can you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just start.
Please start the slide.
I somehow thought there was only one presentation. I didn't realize it. Yes, please. We all love to see it.
Meenakshi, how much time do we have? I'll just be a little quick then. How much time do we have?
We could do whatever. I think another 10-15 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay, fine. Okay. So can we just move to the next slide? And can we go on the yeah. So, can you go back to the previous slide, Swati? Previous one, yeah. So we'll start with the vision that we have. So, like I said, that the vision of the vision of our company is organization is primarily to connect children with the Indian traditional art and crafts in an effort to preserve Indian cultural heritage. And what we do is I think the challenge in what we do is pretty much to is to bring down these the different crafts and the traditional art forms that we have to the level of a child understanding, and then bring it out to a child to make the child understand not just the art form but also the also the stories around it, also the traditional wisdom that comes along with it. So, for example, if you're looking at, say, Rangoli art, what is Rangoli art? As we see, it's not just it's not just an art form, But in fact, this was one of the, in one of the villages while I was traveling, I figured out that this art form was pretty much, Rangoli is an art where they use rice powder. And apart from the auspicious signs that people make outside their homes every morning, it is also done to offer food to the ants and the insects, so they don't come home, and they offered food. So the kind of importance that was given earlier in the daily rituals to even even an ant, the importance of an ant in the entire ecosystem by offering that little that little thing food every morning, which we tend to just oversee these days. Agar humko koi chinti bhi dekhe, we'll probably, the kids these days will either shoo it away or bring out a can of some spray and spray the ant away. So there's so much of wisdom along with the arts and crafts, which the whole idea basically of these kits is to bring it out to children, as well alongside build livelihood for the artisans whom they are working with. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. So again, the objectives, two objectives is awareness and creating livelihoods. अगले slide पे चले, Swati. Yeah, so here a lot of people, when we started, we were wondering whether, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to bridge the gap. We need to educate, but we chose after a lot of discussion and a lot of to and fro, we decided children were the best, were the best sort of customers and the best target for us. Simply being, they are not just, we realize, not just passive recipients of knowledge, but they are definitely effective change makers. I see a lot of children as young as 5 to 10-year-old, 5 to 7-year-old children, they end up making their parents sort of revisit a lot of ethics, a lot of moral values in life, which we all tend to take for granted. So this was a good, so we thought, an age to cater to. In fact, last year we were doing a project with the Registrar General of India to to work on this to work on the census, to bring about an awareness of census amongst school children. And again, while we were discussing with them, one of the areas of awareness program was through primary schools. So that's where we created DIY kits for children to understand to understand what census is, because we realize that they are great change makers and they're very influential. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so this, I think we've already gone through what's the impact on children. Agle slide pe chalte hain. Yeah, so far in the last, since 2015, we've reached out to about 3 lakh children so far. And like our, when we started, like I said, our aim was to, convert children or parents who would go and buy, Chinese made toys and games for children to these Indian, not just toys and games, but also educative toys and games. So we've already reached out to, from the consumers end, we've reached out to about 3 lakh children so far in terms of only products. Apart from this, we also do a lot of workshops in schools. We do a lot of workshops off schools, after schools, within school curriculum. We also work with children. Can we move to the next slide?
What is your marketing channel, Pooja? How do you market your products?
Marketing, earlier we used to we do through our largest marketing channels were through direct selling, through exhibitions, and through retail stores like Craft Council, Kamla shops, and even chain stores, bookstores, a lot of craft boutique stores, a lot of NRI community living outside of India. Then we would do and schools. A lot of schools take these as as gifts for giving to children as prize for prizes instead of books. A lot of schools have started using these kits to be given to students as for during prize distributions. Yeah, so coming back to this, now in terms of the block makers of the oldest carving cluster that we've been working with, so this cluster has gone up. I think their earnings have gone up from 40 to 80, so about 100% increase in their earnings in the last uh, 5 years from 2016 onwards. We don't have the data before that, but this is the data for the last 5 years. Can we move ahead? Yeah, so this is just now I'm just going to show a few models of the kind of kits when we talk of the educational kits. What is it that we're talking of? So this is how from the maker to the consumer, the way these kits link the two. And when we do workshops, we do invite these artisans to pass on the knowledge that they have to the children. So the whole idea is that even out of 3 lakh children that we have impacted, even if say 1% of the children whom we have reached out to, even if 1% takes it on, I think it would be a great change in the craft sector. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, so these are just a few examples of the craft maker and the consumers. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. So these are how we use how we use the block carvers, how we use their work for in an educational sort of format for children. So we've done a series of storybooks on Panchatantra storybooks, where the children actually illustrate the books by block printing the storybooks, the Panchatantra. So what we do is we get the block carvers to carve the different characters and the different props of various Panchatantra stories that we've sort of shortlisted.
Oh, interesting! You must be really enjoying doing all this.
Yeah, so each character is converted into a block, and then the child prints it onto the book and makes their own Panchatantra storybooks. So these are really, really sort of popular, and I think this is one product which has really brought the sales up for the incomes up for the craft clusters that we work with. So just this product itself. Can we move forward? Yeah, so this is another example of how we've made this interactive, and the whole idea basically is to make craft interactive for children. So till if we just tell about a craft to a child, it'll be just just another story. But the moment we make it interactive, that the child engages with the craft, the child actually produces using the craft. The child produces yet another craft handmade product. I think that learning stays a long time. So, it stays for the lifetime. So, like this is another craft kit that we do where children block print their own t-shirts. So we've got various different designs and patterns that our carvers are making.
Pooja, are your products available online?
Yes, we are. Well, right now they're only available online.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah. So this is another example of vernacular architecture. How we teach children about. So once we started working on this, we realized that when we're talking about preserving our cultural heritage, then arts and crafts is an important part. But then there's architecture. There's so much involved. So this was a series that we've done on the vernacular architecture for children to basically understand how and why people lived in the kind of houses they lived. So the kids think beyond the brick and mortar houses that they see in cities. They start questioning. The whole idea is for a child to question and also not to judge different culture by what is visible to the eye, but they understand what is behind that cultural, what comes to the eyes. There's a whole story behind it. There's a reason behind it. There's a logic behind it. So if a person lives in, for example, in Gujarat, if a person lives in a bonga hut, there's a reason to why bonga huts were made, why they were circular, why they were made the way they were made to suit to suit the surrounding. So the whole idea basically is for children to question and to also sort of to understand what is the logic behind the different cultural practices that have been done in India for hundreds of years. So I think, is there any more slide after this? I think, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is really nice, and I think you have tapped the right audience to educate. If a child is educated, because the children are the future generation, and if they get it right, our future is secure. So I think
Here we have. It feels very nice when parents come back to us and and they tell us that हम लोग जापान गए थे हॉलिडे के लिए और वहाँ पे अरे मेरे बेटे को हम लोग एक म्यूजियम में गए मेरे बेटे को सब कुछ पता था वहाँ पे जितनी भी इंडियन पेंटिंग्स थी सब कुछ सबके बारे में बता दिया he was feeling so proud हमको नहीं पता I knew about everything he told us all the stories. So it feels nice when children connect and and they do it in a very fun way. And at the same time, so the artisans are connected with children, and children are going to give back to the artisans. So it's a complete cycle that we are looking at.
Very nice. So nice. So are there any more questions? I think you have already answered Nileshji's question. That was one, and I think that is it. There are lots of compliments, very inspiring, amazing projects, interesting work. So I think you've been really inspiring, and I can see a lot of our new students who will they're yet to get into our orientation program, which starts from Monday, and their education at IICD would begin from 31st August. But I would say in the true sense, you have inaugurated their education. This is the first Varta which they have attended, and I think it's just at the right note. And I'm sure they've all been very inspired, and they will take it forward in their lives. So thank you so much, Payal and Pooja. You have really touched a lot of hearts today.
Thank you so much. We look forward to many more collaborations with the younger. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Swati, anything would like to announce?
Just to thank everyone, thank all our audience and participants who joined us today, and thank you Pooja ma'am and Payal ma'am, and thank you Meenakshi ma'am for having this whole session.
And who is this Lakshmi Reddy? Is this our student or is it someone from outside? Because she needed a. So the recording would be sent to all the participants, or I don't know, because
we share it on Facebook,
Okay,
ICD's
great.
Facebook page, so they'll all be able to access it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pooja. And any parting advice that you would like to give?